week 10 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I looked at this week. The first guy, Ranger Suarez of the Philadelphia Phillies. So Suarez, he was hurt the first few weeks of the season. And I know the numbers aren't great on the season, but the last few starts now for Suarez, he's gone out there and pitched good baseball. Maybe he needed to get his feet on the room. Maybe he had to get things going. And right now, that's what he's been doing over the last few outings here on the season. 24 2/3, 1-2 record on the year, 20 strikeouts, a 5.93 ERA, and a 1.34 whip with 2 quality starts in the season. So Suarez right now, like I said, he's gone out there the last few outings, and he's really worked the kinks out after the first 2 outings of the season for him. He got rocked in those ball games. So right now, he's on a good offensive team with the Philadelphia Phillies. I know it's a pretty tough division in the NL East with the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves, obviously. But right now, Suarez has gone out there the last 2 outings. And I know it's not versus the greatest hitting net teams. We know the Mets, they've been up and down this season, and the Nats really have no hitting. But anyway, May 24th versus Arizona, 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 5 Ks in that one. May 30th at the Mets, 6 2/3, got the loss. Pitched well, though, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. And June 4th at the Nationals, 7 innings, got the win. 8 hits, a run, a walk, 3 Ks, a quality start. So the last 2 outings are definitely good for Ranger Suarez, and he's gone out there and pitched good baseball for the Philadelphia Phillies. And his next outing will be later in the week here for Suarez. So right now, while he's pitching good, I know the matchups are pretty decent on paper for Suarez, but still a lefty who last season had a good year with this Philadelphia Philly team. I don't think he'll repeat those numbers from last season. Those numbers could be similar to last season, where he was 10-7 in 155 in the third. But right now, he's gone out there the last 2 outings and pitch good baseball, and he's a pitcher I would add this week. The next guy is J.P. France of the Houston Astros. So France, he's been on this ad list for 3 or 4 weeks now, is France, and he's going out there making the most of his opportunity with injuries to Jose Urquidy and Luis Garcia, who's out for the season with Tommy John. So right now, France available in 71% of fantasy leagues. On the season here for France, 34 innings, 1-1 record, 29 strikeouts, a 3.59 ERA, and a 1.20 whip with 2 quality starts on the season. So right now, France, he's going out there, he's eating innings for this Astro team. And obviously they need that, especially with a guy like Luis Garcia, who logs a lot of innings and one of their ace pitchers last season on this rotation for the Astros. So right now, France, good versatility as well. Qualifies as starting reliever. In the last few outings, he's been middle of the pack, and then his latest outing versus the Angels. And yesterday's ball game was a great one. May 23rd at the Brewers, 5 2/3, got the loss. 5 hits, a run, a walk, 8 Ks in that one. May 29th versus the Twins, 6 innings, a tough no decision. 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks in that one. And then June 4th in yesterday's game, like I said, 7 innings, tough no decision in that game versus the Angels. 3 hits, a run, a walk, 3 Ks, a quality start. So right now he's giving innings. He's going about 6 or 7 innings per game as France. Not a hard thrower, but a crafty veteran in the minor leagues, and now getting his chance in the major leagues and making the most of it. He's not going to be a top of the rotation guy for your fantasy team, but a back end guy who could especially help in points leagues and category leagues with ERA and just having a chance of winning each and every game. He starts with a good offense out there, obviously, like the Houston Astros. He's definitely a good ad, and it's still surprising to me he's out there in so many leagues, like I mentioned. In 71%, the next pitcher is Andrew Abbott of the Cincinnati Reds, so one of their top pitching prospects in the minor leagues. He's getting an opportunity, and his major league debut will take place here tonight for Andrew Abbott in a pretty decent start, I think, versus the Milwaukee Brewers. I know the Brewers' offense is up and down, and the Brewers and Reds will close out this 4-game set here with Andrew Abbott coming in, and Abbott's going to have a spot in the rotation right now. About saying Andrew Abbott's going to get a long shot here to see what he could do in the rotation. And right now, he's definitely got good upside as Andrew Abbott. Good strikeout stuff. He could get a lot of Ks, and he's a lefty as well, which is always good. Obviously, the only minus for him, he pitches in a hitter's ballpark in Cincinnati. So right now, Abbott, he was doing it all in the minor leagues, leading the minors in strikeouts, and now he's getting his opportunity here for the Cincinnati Red team. And we'll see if other prospects come up for this team. Ellie De La Cruz, I think he's ready as well. Christian Encarnacion-Strand is ready as well. And right now, this Red team needs a little boost in the pitching staff, and they want to go with a younger staff as well. Hunter Green, one of their top prospects over the last few seasons. He's been up. I know it hasn't really translated yet to the major league game where he's putting up huge numbers and been a huge fantasy asset. But Andrew Abbott definitely has good upside, and to take a shot with lightning in a bottle here available right now in 87% of fantasy leagues. He's definitely a good ad. And if he goes out there and has a good start or two this week, here's Abbott. He definitely will be added in more fantasy leagues. The next guy is his teammate Ben Lively of the Cincinnati Reds. So Lively, he's been surprising so far this season. And going into Sunday's games, he had a 1.99 ERA is Lively, but he got hit pretty decent by the Milwaukee Brewers. But hey, he still lasted 7 innings in that ball game. So on the season, 29 innings, 3-3 record, 29 strikeouts, a 2.67 ERA, and a 1 whip with a quality start on the season. So Lively right now, he's going out there for the Cincinnati Red team. He's giving them innings, and this Red team over the last few seasons, it's been tough for them to find starting pitching. And Lively, we know he's kind of a veteran who's bounced around over the last few years, but right now he might have found a home for now with the Cincinnati Red team, and definitely has fantasy value as well. Right now available in 55% of leagues. May 24th versus the Cardinals, 6 innings, got the win, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a quality start. May 30th at the Red Sox, 5 2/3, got the win, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. And 4th versus the Brewers, like I mentioned, he did go 7 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks in that one. So Lively, he's going to give you innings. The ERA was super low, like I mentioned, coming into the ball game with a 1.99, even though I know it was only a little over 20 innings coming into yesterday's ball games. But he's giving them innings for this Red team. There's not a lot of great options on the waiver wire this week here. And Lively right now, a couple more good outings. He's definitely a guy where his value will be raised up, and his ownage will be raised as well, probably anywhere from 70 to 80% if he goes out there over the next couple weeks and keeps pitching well. And even though it wasn't a great outing versus the Brewers, like I said, it definitely was a standout a little that he went deep into the game after giving up 3 runs early in that ball game, going 7 in that one. The next pitch is Braxton Garrett of the Miami Marlins. So Braxton Garrett, for the most part, he's been a solid starter for this Marlins team this season. I know he got rocked in a couple ball games early in the year, but right now he's wrote the ship as Garrett, and he's pitching great baseball, and surprisingly, he's still available in 81% of fantasy leagues. I know this Marlins team isn't the greatest of teams this season, but they've been in a lot of ball games, and right now they're hanging around in the NL East. On the season, 53 1/3, 1-2 record, 54 Ks, a 4.22 ERA, 1.31 whip, and only 1 quality start. So I know he's not going deep into ball games. 5-6 inning pitcher at best he is, Braxton Garrett, but that's all right to have a guy with good upside at the back end of your rotation for your fantasy team. I know these guys did not going out there and putting up huge numbers, but at this point of the season, if you could find a solid 5th or 6th starter for your fantasy team, why wouldn't you do it right now on the waiver wire? May 20th at the Giants in that one, 6 1/3, no decision, a hit, no runs, a walk, 8 Ks, a quality start. May 25th at the Rockies, 5 innings in that one, 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks in that game. And May 31st versus the Padres, 5 1/3, 2 hits, a run, a walk, 7 Ks. So Garrett's going to give you strikeouts. I know the downside, he's not going to go deep into ball games where he's obviously going to give you quality starts and qualify for a lot of wins, because this Marlin offense doesn't obviously score a lot of runs. But right now, he's got a great chance here today to get a victory versus the Kansas City Royals. That's one of the worst hitting teams in the major league. So right now, while he's out there, surprisingly, like I said, in 81% of fantasy leagues here, and has a good matchup coming up, and possibly a 2-start starter this week here is Braxton Garrett. Fantasy owners should go out there and add him this week. The next guy is Griffin Canning of the Los Angeles Angels. So Canning, over the last few outings here, he's gone out there and he's pitched great baseball for this Angel team. On the season, 48 1/3, 4-2 record, 43 strikeouts, a 4.59 ERA, and a 1.27 whip with 3 quality starts on the season. So Canning's gone out there, and he's really pitched good baseball for this Angel team. I know he's got a good offense backing him, and right now he's still out there in tons of fantasy leagues at 89%. So right now this Angel team, they're going to keep him in the rotation, I believe. We know Reed Detmers and Sandoval have been struggling over the last few weeks, and Canning, he's turned things around after getting off to a slow start since mid-May. So the last few outings here for Canning: May 23rd versus the Red Sox, 7 innings, got the win, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. May 29th at the White Sox, 6 innings in that one, got the win, 6 hits, 3 runs, 9 Ks, a quality start. And June 4th at the Houston Astros, 6 innings, no decision, 4 hits, a run, a walk, 4 Ks, a quality start. So right now, Canning's gone out there the last 3 outings, and he's looked like a top-line starter. I don't think the numbers are going to keep up at this level, obviously, here for Canning, but a guy in the back end of your rotation who can help fantasy owners is definitely a possibility. And right now, you're just trying to catch lightning in a bottle 10 weeks into the season because most of the great players are picked up. And you're just looking for players who can help your fantasy team, even if it's for a couple weeks. It could get you a couple wins or whatever type of league, help you in a roto league, help you hit a couple categories, or just help you score some points. So right now, where Canning's pitching well, and obviously has a good offense backing him up in Los Angeles, he's a pitcher I would pick up this week. The next guy's Logan Allen of the Cleveland Guardians. I feel like I've been talking about Allen pretty much every week here since he got called up for this Guardian team. And very surprising to me, he's still out there right now. 51% of fantasy leagues on the season, 45 2/3, 3-2 record, 47 Ks, a great 2.76 ERA, 1.34 whip and 4 quality starts. I know the walks are a little bit high, but the strikeouts are great. 1 strikeout in an inning. The ERA is great, especially in the American League, under a 3 on the season. And he's definitely here to stay for this Cleveland Guardian team. We know Plesac, they designated for assignment, and Allen's going to have a spot in the rotation, especially Tristan McKenzie's back, and Quill Contra went on the injured list as well. So the last few games here for Logan Allen, he's been good. May 23rd versus the White Sox, 6 innings, got the loss, 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 Ks, a quality start. May 29th at Baltimore, 7 innings, got the win, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 10 Ks, a quality start. And June 3rd at Minnesota, he didn't have the greatest of stuff, but he still got through the ball game and pitched well, 6 innings, got the win, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. So Allen going out there, pitching great baseball, and I just don't get why fantasy owners haven't gone out there and picked him up in more leagues. Like I said, 51% of leagues he's out there, and he's a pitcher that's just going to go out there. He'll give you the 6 or 7 innings. He's got good strikeout stuff, 18 strikeouts in the last 3 outings. And right now, he's here to stay. Like I mentioned, McKenzie's back, and they made their moves to get rid of other pitchers in that rotation. The next pitcher I looked at is Louis Varland of the Minnesota Twins. So another guy, Louis Varland, who I'm surprised is out there. And I spoke about him over the last few weeks as well. And right now, available in 74% of fantasy leagues. On the season for Varland, 41 innings, 3-1 record, 39 Ks, 3.51 ERA, a 1.15 whip, and 5 quality starts. So right now, surprising, he's out there in a lot of leagues. I know the K rate isn't great, but he's pitching good baseball, and he's eating innings and going deeper into games as the weeks are going on. Is Varland. The last 2 weeks for him, 13 innings, 1-1 record, 8 Ks, a 2.08 ERA, 0.92 whip, and 2 quality starts. So right now, he's going out there. He's giving good outings right now, is Varland, for fantasy owners. And it's surprising to me he's not owned in more leagues. And this Twin team, pretty much, this rotation has pitched well. Bailey Ober's been solid this season. Joey Ryan, one of the better pitchers, and Sonny Gray this season. And Louis Varland is fitting in well in this rotation, and he's here to stay as well. May 20th at the Angels, 5 innings, got the win, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 Ks in that ball game. May 26th versus the Blue Jays, 6 innings, tough luck loser, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 Ks, a quality start. And then May 31st, he pitched a gem at the Astros, 7 innings, got the win in that game, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 5 Ks, a quality starts. His next outings tomorrow, obviously at the best team in baseball right now, record-wise, at the Tampa Bay Rays. So it's going to be a tough test, no doubt about it. But Louis Varland, like I said, he's keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's getting the outs, and he's going deep into ball games. And right now, he should be owned in way more than only 26% of fantasy leagues. So owners should definitely go out there and get him this week. The next guy's Michael Lorenzen of the Detroit Tigers. So Lorenzen, the last 2-3 weeks, I've mentioned him as well as a pitcher to go out there and get on the wire. And right now, available in tons of fantasy leagues at 75%. So on the season for Lorenzen, 53 1/3, 2-2 record, 41 Ks, a 3.21 ERA, 0.99 whip, and 5 quality starts. And over the last couple weeks, 8-19 1/3, 0-0 record, 15 Ks, a 2.79 ERA, and 0.62 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Lorenzen's gone out there, and he's pitched deep into ball games. I know he's on a Detroit Tiger team that's not going to give him run support, and he's not going to get many wins, but if you need some strikeouts, whip, and ERA, he's definitely going to help you that, and he eats innings as well for this Tiger team. And even last season, during certain parts of the season, we saw flashes with Lorenzen in that Angel rotation. 27th versus the White Sox, 6 2/3, no decision, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 4 Ks, a quality start. And June 3rd at the White Sox again, 7 innings, another tough luck, no decision, 2 hits, a run, 6 Ks, a quality start. So right now, going deep into games. I know the run support isn't there, But hey, if you're in a points league, he's going to pitcher for points leagues as Lorenzen than he is for category or even roto leagues, because he's not going to get wins. And that's obviously going to be a problem. But points leagues, he's going innings, he's going strikeouts, and he's not really giving up runs, is Lorenzen. So right now, he's definitely a pitcher I look to add this week. And like I said, available surprisingly in 75% of fantasy leagues. And the final pitcher I look to add this week is Clarke Schmidt of the New York Yankees. So Schmidt's starting to find it with that cutter a little bit over the last few weeks here. And he's a guy that could go out there and definitely help fantasy owners. On the season, 55 and 2/3, 2-5 record, 65 Ks. I know the ERA is a 5.01 with a 1.51 whip and only one quality start. So yeah, he's not going deep into games, but he's got a good offense backing him over there with the New York Yankees. And like I said, the last two outings, he's definitely found it now with Schmidt with that cutter. Last 2 weeks, 10 and 2/3, 0-1 record, 11 Ks, and 0.84 ERA, 1.03 whip, and right now, surprisingly, still out there in 84% of fantasy leagues here is Clarke. So right now, the last few outings, like I said, he's starting to find it, and fantasy owners should pay attention to it. And Hesper Cortez is going to go on the injured list as well. So Schmidt's definitely going to be in this starting rotation for the foreseeable future, I believe, here. So the last few games here for Schmidt, May 25th versus the Orioles. 5 innings, got the loss, but 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And then May 31st at the Mariners, 5 and 2/3, tough luck, no decision. 3 hits, no runs, a walk, 7 Ks. So the strikeouts are going up. I know he's not going deep into games and not getting many wins, but a guy could be a decent back end of the rotation guy for fantasy owners. I think Schmidt is fine. And he qualifies at starter and reliever as well, which is good versatility, especially in points leagues. If you want to carry closers and you want to have a guy in the reliever position who's a starter to carry an extra starter or two. So right now, I give Schmidt an answer. That's a few pitchers I look to add here in week 10 of the fantasy baseball season.